I was offered a job opportunity on a $2 billion project, but I don't know if I want to take it, y'all. So let's discuss. Hey y'all, so if you're new here, I am Brianna Johnson and welcome to my channel. If you don't know, I am an engineer, a licensed contractor, a real estate developer, and I own my own residential construction business. Well, residential construction and development business. But recently, y'all, I have been asked to come back and work a commercial for a temporary position as a project manager on the construction of the Nissan Stadium here in Nashville. Now, I have my pros and my cons, as do most people when they are offered a job. Now, my pros and cons are a little different. A lot of people will be like, oh, you should definitely do that. Automatically, it's a job. Especially in this economy, you should be taking that job. But y'all, let's go through pros and cons. Let's talk about it. Let me tell y'all why I'm a little apprehensive about going back to work in commercial, because this is not my first time working in commercial. I've had an internship in commercial construction, a co-op in commercial construction. The internship, I was working on the construction at a hospital, a renovation work. The co-op, I was working on the construction of a high-rise apartment complex. And then I also ended up being a field engineer working on the construction of the Nashville airport. So I've had my fair share of commercial construction experience, but I left commercial construction for a reason. So I'm very apprehensive about it. Let's go through the cons. Let's do that first. Why I even am talking about not taking a job in this economy, because I know y'all probably looking at me crazy right now. If you're offered a job, as hard as it is for people to get jobs out here, why wouldn't you be taking it? So my first con or apprehension about it is, one, I lose my flexibility. So I have been working for my family business for 2 years, I think. Yeah. So in my family business, I had that flexibility. All of this year, it's July 2026. All of this year, I've been working for myself. Like I said, I have a small residential construction and development company. So for the past 3 years, y'all, I have had the daily flexibility to do whatever I want to do. I make my own schedule. I come in when I want to. I can schedule around everything I want to do. I'm able to cook my lunch in the day, come home, cook lunch. I'm able to work out when I need to. Sometimes I can put it in the morning, sometimes I can put it at night. I'm able to go out of town whenever I want to. I don't have to run that up the ladder to get approval to go on vacation. I simply just had flexibility. So one of the reasons that I am apprehensive about going back to work for commercial, even though it is a temporary position, I'm apprehensive about taking it just because I'm going to lose that flexibility. Okay, I go into taking this job as the project manager at that job site. I will have to be there. I will have to clock in. I'm back to clocking in for that time period that I will be there in that temporary position. And so I lose that flexibility that I so much love. If you are not new to my channel, you love having that flexibility. Okay, I will lose the flexibility, which honestly just a convenience thing. Is what I like. I don't necessarily have to have it. And like I said, this is a temporary position. So on the side of thinking about losing my flexibility, it's not for a long period of time. Like I know I'm only going to be doing this for, I'll just tell y'all, it's supposed to finish this project in 9 months. They just need somebody to come in and help finish up the project. So it's already in its finishing stages. I know it won't be long. They're supposed to open it up here in February. So at the latest, maybe it'll run a month over, I don't know. February, March, we're gonna say one of them. Okay, it's not like I'm sacrificing going back to a 9 to 5 and I just don't know when I'm gonna get out. It's not a thing that I really have to do, but it's also a temporary thing. Actually, you know what? Let's do a set of cons. So I'm gonna go back and forth between pros and cons. I'm just gonna talk my whole mental process with y'all of how I'm feeling about this, okay? It's a lot. I go back and forth because then I'll say something. I'm like, well, if you look about it this positive way, this could be, you know, with the flexibility thing, trying to look at it in like positive way. One, I have to note that it's only temporary. It's not like I'm being forced to go back to work. It's literally just an opportunity that presented itself to me. I wasn't searching for a job, y'all. I don't need a job. I'm content with doing what I'm doing right now, and I don't need a job. Like I said, I was not looking for this opportunity. I wasn't searching. I wasn't applying nowhere. This opportunity literally just found me. Literally came out the freaking blue. When I tell y'all out the blue, I just got a phone call one day. I'm like, hey, I have a friend that they need a project manager in construction. They need somebody that can come on quick, that can help at the Nissan Stadium, at the project they were on. And she's like, I just recommended you. I know you got your own stuff going on, but it's a temporary position if you can come in and help them for finishing time period. And I'm like, at first I was just gonna say no anyway, but I'm like, you know what? Personally, I feel like I'm a big believer in God, okay? You don't know that. So I just feel like nothing happens for no reason. Everything has a purpose. And so I just feel like I had to hear the opportunity out, okay? In my spirit, in my mind, and just everything that all the words I've been getting, going to church and Bible study and all that. And I just didn't feel right just automatically turning down this opportunity without hearing everything out. So I was like, okay, just give me their phone number, contact them. In my head, I'm like, God, this is something you want to do. Let it work out however you want it to work out. But I'm not about to chase, basically, because like I said, I don't need the job. So I end up texting the person, like, so-and-so talk to me, like, feel free to contact me. You still need somebody. So I just left it at that, y'all. First day that I sent it, he didn't get back with me that day at all. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, God shut that down already. Next day, he contacts me. We get on the phone and he's basically telling me about the job, y'all. It's gonna be a project manager, engineer type of role. So if I was to take the job, he said I would be finishing up RFIs, submittals, I guess inspections, going on site, procuring materials. You know what a project engineer, project manager does. I would be one of those on this job site, which is the Nissan Stadium, which is really, y'all, why I would want to kind of force myself to do it, even though I lose flexibility. It is a very good opportunity. The project itself being the Nissan Stadium, and if y'all don't know, in Nashville, it's kind of a big deal right now. We are hosting the 2030 Super Bowl. So it's been a really big deal and a big project for the city as a whole. I would love to be able to have my mark on it in some type of way. Also, a benefit to it is being able to put it on my resume. Because like I was saying to my friends yesterday, at that point, my resume and experience is dang near solidified as the hard hitter in this industry. So I just feel like adding it onto my experience will help me in the long run in my future endeavors in my own business as well. That is a benefit, and that is one of the main reasons I should probably do this. On top of the fact, like I said, with God, I just feel like at the time that I'm getting certain messages from my pastor in Bible study and Sunday services, it just kind of fell in line with this random opportunity out the blue and me being asked to do this, especially like I said, when I'm not searching for anything and I wasn't applying for anything, for it to just come out the blue like that, I just feel like it was meant to be. And even like I said, when he didn't text me back that whole day, I didn't text back again, I didn't call. I literally told God, if this is what you want me to do, I prayed about it. I said, this is what you want me to do, work it out however you see fit. And if it works out, I will not deny it. I will just go with the flow of however you want to lay this out. He got back with me, like I said, the next day. And he was like, send me your resume. I sent him the resume. He was like, your resume is amazing. Congratulations. All the experience I've had is really good. And then after that, he wanted to set up another meeting for me to come to the office, meet him. And then he also wanted to set up another meeting with me to meet some people on site and walk the site. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But like I said, back to God, I just feel like I feel like God is redirecting my attention and focus temporarily. Like I said, it's a temporary position. And I think for some reason, praying about it, I feel like this is God saying, like, you need to go ahead and do this. I'm doing this for a reason. I literally gave you this opportunity for a reason. And I might not know what that reason is right now in this moment. I might not know for the next 6 months. I might not know the whole 9 months that I'm there. But I feel like after praying about it multiple times, I do feel like this is something that he wants me to do, even the way it was worked out and presented to me. But back to what I was saying about temporary, it is a temporary position. So I'm signing on to do this one project, finish up this one project, the Nissan Stadium. That's it. I'm not signing on as a person that's going to be staying long term with their company. And that's really it. I'll be back to working in my own business after those 9 months are done. This is not a long-term thing, y'all, at all. My heart, like I told y'all before, is in residential, but I do think God is wanting me to get this commercial experience, and yeah, that's the thing he wants me to. But like I said, I'm still apprehensive about it because, like I said, flexibility. On top of that, like I said, I own my own business, and so it's not gonna be too much of a problem because I own my own business with my brother. My dad also helps us. So my dad has been doing construction for like 30 years. So he can handle it by himself. He doesn't need me per se to be there every day with him. So my dad and my brother, and then my boyfriend also works for the company. So all three of them can handle it without me being there daily. That's not really a big deal. It's just kind of a preference. Like I wanted to be there, especially since if y'all know, recently we signed a couple deals. Just had a ground opening in Memphis for 5 new lots that we had got down there. Working on one house in Jackson, working on a house Jackson. I can't remember where little city it is, but it's in between Nashville and Jackson. And we are working on acquiring 3 more properties in Nashville. So we have upwards of 10 projects going on, half new construction, half renovations, and then we also manage property that we already have in Memphis. So not to say that my brother, dad, and my boyfriend can't do it by themselves. I just would have liked to be there and hands-on. But I know if I take this job that I wouldn't be able to be there and hands-on every day. I would only be able to maybe help them on the weekends, because from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, I'm gonna be at the Nissan Stadium working. That's one of the downsides to it. It's not a big downside, because like I said, but it's not like my company's gonna stop running while I'm working back in commercial, because I do have other people that can run it on a daily basis. So everything y'all have seen us do is still going to continue. The Jackson job site, the new house that we just started grading and clearing the land for, the Memphis lot that we actually did the groundbreaking ceremony on. So everything's still going to be moving and grooving. I'm just not going to be there on a day-to-day basis if I take the job. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's just like, it would have been my preference to be there on sites every single day. So that's another con in addition to the flexibility thing. My last really big con that I would say is that if y'all don't know, I had just got accepted into an engineering doctorate program at TSU. Maybe 2-3 vlogs, I don't know. It's been a couple of vlogs probably since I announced that I was going back for my doctorate in engineering, and I had got accepted into their program. And I also filled out for an application to do a fellowship that would pay for my schooling. Now, I filled that out with y'all, and I actually, coincidentally enough, y'all, I got the email to say I moved to the second round of the fellowship application. I had made it to the second round, which are interviews for the fellowship. And that was crazy, y'all, because I got that email for me to the next round to do interviews the same day that I talked to the man. So I'm like, God, are you trying to tell me to do both? Are you trying to tell me to do both again? Because if y'all know, I did my master's while I was doing construction work at the airport. I was getting my master's. I was working with them from 6 to dang near 5-6 o'clock, and then I was going to school. My classes started at like 6:30 at night. I really think they started at 5:30. And so on those days, I would have to leave like minutes early, or I have to come in. It was all online, so I would just log into the thing, into my Zoom. But basically, I was doing both. I was in the day working as a field engineer, and at night I was going to class, waking up, doing that whole thing again. So it was a lot, but I was telling everybody else I've done it before. It's not a big deal to do both, but me, if I was to be awarded this fellowship that pays for it, they expect you to do outside research. You got to attend so many conferences. You have to, it's a lot of requirements I would have to keep up with. It's going to make me take up more time than just me go to class, my class work. So the fellowship requires you to do a little bit more than just your class work. And I don't know if I would be able to do, depending on how they have it set up, I don't know how that would work with me having that job and having to be there at certain times. Because also with the fellowship, they have meetings, which are usually when the teachers are going to be there. So they have these monthly meetings during time. And so I don't want to get into this job, already a temporary position. I'm already coming in later than everybody else, trying to get familiar with the job site. I don't need to be leaving every month on so-and-so Friday because I got to go to a fellowship mandatory meeting. And if you miss more than one in a year, I think you lose your scholarship or fellowship. I do need to talk with somebody about that to see, and I'm gonna pray about it some more, y'all, because if I do take the job, I will have to decide if I'm going to put off getting my doctorate for a year, or am I going to try to do both. One thing about it though is, like I said, the job thing is only temporary, so it's only 9 months, so I would only be doing both for one full semester and then a half of the spring semesters. I wouldn't be having to do both for long. It is something that I need to consider and think about now if I do decide to do it. So that's another apprehension I have about it. But hey, who knows? Maybe God's saying you can do all three. I gave you everything you need to be able to handle all three. Shoot, going to school, doing the 8 to 5 project manager job at the Nissan Stadium, and running your business. Like, God telling me I can do all three. He know I can do it. He done set me up with all the tools I need to do it. So maybe he think I can handle it more than I know I can handle it. Me thinking it right now, doing all three is crazy work, okay? So I do not want to come on if I'm not compensated well. It has to be worth my time. Like I said, I do run a business. I don't want to take me away from my business for something that I'm not also compensated for monetary wise. Like, I need to be well compensated for me to leave my business on a day-to-day basis, especially at a time where business has picked up. It's not like we're in a slow moment right now. We're doing business. We have a lot of projects right now, so it needs to be worth my time. So the project itself is a big project, and like I said, the Super Bowl is about to be there, so that's going to be amazing to say that I had a hand in helping with. But the opportunity itself still needs to be monetarily compensated for my knowledge and expertise. So I told him set value, and I told him a range that I will work with, because you can negotiate. And on top of that, like I would tell anybody, know your worth. I'm not going to sell myself short. So if they end up not being able to work with my number, they might have to do without me. Okay, I gave them the lowest number that I will go with. So he said he'll go negotiate it for me, the man I met with. So we'll see what he come up with. And then I would have worked on so many different type of commercial projects that, like I said, my resume is solidified. So if everything works out, then I will be taking the job opportunity. But it's just a lot to think about, y'all. It was very sudden what happened and how it all came about. So I'm really just trying to work my brain, which is why I even decided to make this video. Like, me talking out loud, I can figure something out, think about everything. You know, I've been talking about it to my parents, I've been talking about it to my friends, but like, I'm talking it out to myself. Basically, I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and make a little video, especially with my birthday challenge going on, where I'm posting every other day in July until my birthday on the 30th. So I figured this will be a nice little video to have, especially since I've been doing a lot of career vlogs, career work. That's another thing that's going to be affected as well, now that I mentioned that. I won't be able to do as much content as I do now. Like my weekly vlogs, I won't be able to do them as much, and I wouldn't be able to get out as many videos as I possibly could. And like the development series I have on TikTok and stuff like that, I won't be able to do that as often, especially not daily, because my focus will be on me working on the commercial project, especially because now like I said, I'm coming in, I have to catch up on a lot. It's not like I started at this project, so I'm coming into a project as big as this, and I have to catch up with a deadline approaching very soon. That's where we're at right now. Thank you for listening to me rant about the pros and cons of taking this job. If you have any thoughts, I am opening up the floor for your opinions and thoughts. So whatever, no, let me not say whatever, because some people get carried away when you say what. No, let me just specify a question. What do y'all think I should do? Should I take it? Should I not? And y'all just stay tuned to figure out which one I do. But either way, y'all can stay tuned and figure out which one I do. See y'all.